Hey there, everyone. Today we are going to take a look at the new Artxx OROS 24 pastel colored markers. The team at Artxx was kind enough to send these over, and I kind of wanted to show you guys what you can expect with these, besides adorable packaging, and how to use them. So let's first off unbox them. They do come in this plastic case here. Looks like we have a color chart or a swatch chart, thank you. And then super cute box, but even cuter is this little wrap. So let's just pop this open real quick. It is taped shut. Oh, hi camera. Okay. Now this is a brush tip set, which is what the OROS is. It's a smooth paper, not exactly like marker paper, but it would still be nice because you can put it in this little handy case. I was just gonna see if they had anything else. This is kind of a reference of the colors, but obviously you should always swatch them. All right, look at this case. Can we talk about how cute that is? Whoops. Okay, well, the markers do come out. So you can see your markers from above, and then I'm gonna put my hand here. So on the bottom, it's closed out. Okay, this is the cutest little wrap. Oh my goodness. Okay. So it has a little styrofoam thingy, but we're not gonna need that. And then they're all in here, nice and neat. I'm not sure if they're in order. Doesn't look like they are. I was looking at the color chart, so I'll end up having to put them in order. But let's take a look at these. So they have a triangular barrel, but a circle top, so it's kind of confusing, but that means it'll lay flat on your desk and not roll away. Now, they don't have like the line like Ohuhu and Copic, but that's okay. So it does say chisel and brush. Ooh, that lid is nice and tight, which is good. Good. So here is the brush nib. That's actually a nice looking brush nib. These are really sturdy too. And then we have the chisel. Look how thick of plastic that is. They did not skimp on plastic. So it just has the color number on these, but on the chart it does say, so this is milky lavender. All right, so what I'm gonna do is unpop this one back in. It is a bummer that they kind of fall out the top, but oh well. So I'm gonna pop this back in. It looks like you go like this and like this. Oops, gently. Oh, isn't that the cutest little case? This would be good. You don't have to store your markers in it, but like say you're on the go, you could grab whatever markers from your collection, stick them in here and take this on the go. Although I would honestly put, since these are so loose, I would stick quite a few per band, because as you can tell, see how loose they are? That's why they're popping out. And you could probably fit, honestly, double, so 8 per band, but I could grab a mixture of markers and go. But yeah, let's start swatching. Okay, I'm gonna swatch on the chart that they gave me. Even though it's not marker paper, this would slide right in with the markers. And then I want to see kind of how the colors look before I put them in my own order. So because they're not in order in the little case, I'm just going to try and find them and pull them out. Okay, so this is brush side. So this is Pale Azure. Brush nib is really nice. Yes, I'm purposely going outside of the lines. All right, I thought I would zoom you in a little. Okay, so that was 401. Excuse me. Let's see. 402. This is harder than I thought. Okay, so this is the brush side. That's not too bad of a color. Okay, 402, and then we want 403. And just kind of having to fish them out. Now I'm not swatching the chisel side because rarely do I use a chisel. That's an interesting powder blue. Never judge a marker when wet. 404. Oh. Wow, these are all over the place inside here, but no biggie. As long as they're all there in the end, that's what I care about the most. Okay, now 405. Pretty colors so far. I'm hoping there's a good enough mix. Now you can, I believe, get a 48 count set. The team sent me this 24 count set to try out, but I believe there's also a 48. I'll link to both if there is both. Oh, that's really light. Let me get this out of the way. This one, at the moment, bleeds into this paper, but it almost has like a gray purple effect. Let's see, 407. But yeah, I want to see if there's enough with this 24 count to color a whole page on its own. Let's see, pale thistle, and then we have thistle right after it. So let's see, here's thistle. Oh, that's a pretty purple. Okay, periwinkle. You are over here. Lots of blues and blue violets in this collection. That's pretty too. Okay, wisteria. 410. I have to keep checking and make sure I'm opening the brush side. Now these all look really similar at the moment, but I'm probably going to swatch it on some marker paper too, just in case it's this paper, light wheat, you know, soaking it up. Sometimes if you don't use marker paper, it'll soak it up. Clams Pink. I like that name. That's cute. It is pink. Plus right now when they're wet, they're showing what's behind the page. 414. Okay. Light pink tulips. Ooh, it is light pink. 415 gladiolus. Oh, there you are. Oh, that's a pretty pink too. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, 416. We're on to peony. Ooh, I like that one. I do. 417 is jasmine. Yep, beautiful yellow. 418 carambola. If I butchered that, sorry. Nope, other side. These are heavy-duty markers. I'm surprised how thick the plastic is. 419. A yellow barberry. It's actually like a yellow-green color, but it's still pretty. Gardenia yellow, 420. Okay. Ooh. I like that. 421 mango. So I'm assuming this will have like an orangey color. Peachy, orangey. Okay, Celadon, 422. The cap is blue, but normally Celadon is a green color. Oh, they have like a nice, yep, that's Celadon. Milk green, 423. Not bad. Honeydew melon. Oh, how I love honeydew. The fruit. My kids won't eat it though. That's pretty. Okay, last but not least is fresh bamboo, 426. Just gotta make sure I'm opening it on the brush side. Oh yes, that's a gorgeous green. Look at that. Oh, that's luscious. All right, let me get my marker pad and see, but so far these colors aren't too bad. Okay, so the colors have dried on this paper. Like I said, it's not like marker paper. It's and some of the printing is kind of messing with it, but this is actually a pretty good array of colors. I could probably color a whole page with just this set, but I want to see how they blend. So I pulled out my marker paper. And I just want to see if we can actually make blends with these colors. You could do this on traditional cardstock, of course. I just prefer to blend and test on marker paper because that's what it's made for. Let's try Fresh Bamboo, Honeydew, and then I want to blend it into a yellowish green. So maybe 419, Yellow Barberry. Okay. I want to get the lids off these. I gotta make sure I didn't put them all facing brush side up when I put them down. Okay, so we got these ones here. So let's see. So as you can see, they don't roll on your desk because they have that triangular shape. Now I am going dark to light. You do you. I know a lot of people like to go light to dark. That is okay. No judgment from me. So there's no right or wrong way to use any art supply. And if someone tells you there is, well, then that's what's wrong. Oh, that does transition very nice. I like that. Because art is all about playing, and if you can't play with your supplies and make them do what you feel like doing, what's the point? All right, let's try making another blend. The nice thing about pastels is they're so light that you can often blend colors you normally wouldn't blend. You know, like if I was taking a dark green like this one here, that would be a little bit of a different story, but this is blending together nicely. And that was Fresh Bamboo, Honeydew, and this Yellow Barberry. These other yellows would have blended in nicely too, though. Okay, so these three here look very similar. So I'm going to swatch them out on my paper, and we'll let them dry because I want to see if they look different on better paper. Because right now, even swatching them, I'm not seeing... Okay, I'm seeing a difference with that one, but I'm not seeing it with those two. So let's let those dry, because again, markers can't be judged. Let's do a purplish blend. So let's do Wisteria, which is 410. Okay, and then let's blend it into... Ooh. Let's blend it into Periwinkle, 409. And then Clams Pink, 413. That's quite a leap, but let's see if we can do it. So it looks like if you put them in numerical order, that actually puts them in the pastel color order. So that's nice. It makes it easier to put away and organize your markers. Okay, so this is kind of a interesting purple blend I'm gonna try here, but oops, they do roll a little bit. Not too bad though. I want that pink, so remember when you do markers, okay, when you're swatching them, if you swatch only a single layer, then keep in mind that's the color. But markers are layerable, so you can make them a lot darker. Oh, yay, that does blend. So I mean, like when you have a marker, you know, you have one layer, one layer, one layer, 2 layers, 2 layers. Help if I was on screen. 3 layers. I'll wait for that to dry so you can see. But so if you're, you know, the type that tends to kind of swatch, or I mean layer your markers, then you should also layer on your swatch chart, simply because you're going to get a different color than originally put down. So always keep that in mind. It's harder with pastels, but look at that. You can blend your pink into your purple just fine. That green, dry, this is dry. So is my purple, well, it's a little damp. Okay, looking at these though, I am not seeing a big difference between these two. I'm seeing the difference between this third one. So 406 and 407 is milky lavender and pale thistle. And when you look at this, which is just a reference chart, I know, it almost looks like milky lavender is more, has a blue leaning purple. But again, just a reference, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one, but they do look awfully similar to me. But yeah, I think I could color a whole page with these pastels. So I thought it would be fun to do a Halloween pastel, because why can't you use pastels for Halloween? Is there a rule? Does it all have to be dark and dreary? I thought this would be a really fun one. So this is Pomona by Micah Jelena, and I am going to color her in pastel markers. So I think that is what I will do and see how she turns out, and then we'll go from there. Now, I don't plan to do this whole thing on camera. I'll do a lot off camera because otherwise we'd be here for days. But I thought I would show you just a couple blends on my hammer mill paper that I like to use, just to kind of see how it works out. So this is 418. Now, the thing with pastels is you have to be willing to kind of use out-of-the-box blends with your markers. So if you're kind of like one that's not willing to go a little crazy with your blends and mix, like, you know, colors that you normally wouldn't put in a marker blend, then you might want to add in some regular non-pastel colors. And you also have to be okay or comfortable with your blending technique, because you do blend different color families and different like hues all together. Now this wasn't too big of a leap. This was an orangish color, or peachy color with a yellow, and I totally went out of the lines, which isn't like me, but those blended nicely. Let's see. I'll do a couple in her hair. Ooh, her hair. Oh gosh, the hair color. I want it like pink, but I also want it purple. So we're gonna do Peony, which is 416. Light pink tulips. Oops, these do roll a teeny bit. That's. And then Periwinkle. No, let's do Mysteria, because that's the darkest purple we've got. All right, let's see how this works out for us. Does the cap fit on the other end? It doesn't. I can't say too much about that because Copics don't either. And these are a lot more affordable than Copic. All right, let's see how we can get this fun hairstyle to work. These nibs are really nice. Smooth nibs. Okay, I'm just blending that purple down into that pink. And then picking up my pink and blending right back over it. Trying to stay on the lines this time, like a good example. Okay. And taking my lightest color, just blending that out. Ooh, that's perfect. And like, for example, here, I'll do purple into only the pink. So I am gonna kind of change it up here and there. Trying not to accidentally get in that light part of the other one though. But the reason I'm changing it up here and there is because I kind of want to give it a funky look. See, yeah, blends quite nicely actually. So perfect. Well, I'm going to keep coloring this Halloween page in pastels because I'm a rule breaker. And then I will show you the page when we're done and kind of go over how I felt about the markers in the process, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I colored this all in using only the Artxx pastels, and I'm actually really impressed with how these did. I mean, for one, I was only working with 24 colors, so obviously I'm going to have a very limited color palette, and so I was trying to see, you know, different ways I could blend them, how well they blended. I did have those two blues that do look an awful lot alike, so I felt kind of like maybe that should have been swapped out for a different color. And then of course, you know, if you're just using that 24 count, there was only two colors really that worked for skin, so I used them, but you can barely see the gradients of those, but it's not a big deal. So yeah, I probably would recommend getting the larger set than the 24 count set. However, if you already have other pastel marker sets, or you have marker sets that aren't pastel, then this would be a really good addition to your current collection if you bought the 24 count instead of the bigger set, just because it adds all of those really light toned colors that are typically missing from marker sets. And you can still color a whole page with them. I made sure to use every single color as well, whether it was in a blend or on its own. And yeah, this is the final result. And I think it turned out pretty good, and it did well on my paper. I didn't have any blending issues, and I really like the nibs on the Artxx. Very flexible. The ink comes out very controlled. The nibs, even when I was like kind of playing around with this background moon here, as you can see, I've blended two colors. It might not show as well, but I was kind of pressing on the nib a lot to see if it kind of wore down at all, and it actually held up really well, so I'm pretty impressed. So yeah, not a bad set at all. The price point is pretty reasonable considering the quality of the product. The plastic is not cheapy plastic. In fact, I can't believe how thick those things are. The nib is excellent. I actually really like the Artxx nib over what Ohuhu and other budget brands have been offering. So I was really impressed with that. And the blending ability of the ink was really nice as well. So yeah, that is my first impressions of the Artxx. Let me know if you ended up buying those Artxx pastel markers. Let me also know if you have other Artxx marker products. I have yet to purchase those, but I've been kind of curious myself, so I may purchase more and add them to my pastels. All right, everyone, thanks for hanging out with me and checking out these markers, and until next time, take care. Bye now.